It's an interesting day here at the village. I have no idea what's going on. I hope everyone's okay. I just needed to get an establishing shot, but this feels like a horrible invasion of privacy, so let's get inside because this is getting awkward. And speaking of awkward, here's a still image taken from episode 7 where I said I regretted not buying this Logitech joystick because I'd probably never find another one for $7. Well, here's a Logitech Wingman for $8 that I also kinda regret not buying. But I'm still not into flight sims yet, and I don't know, I just figured it would end up collecting dust, so I left it behind for someone who might actually use it. Here's a disgusting Xbox 360 for $20. This makes me feel really fortunate to land the slim model back in episode 10 for $30. And if you've seen that episode, you might remember that any Xbox 360 made after September 2008 should have the Jasper motherboard, which means it probably won't get the red ring of death. This one, however, was made in 2007, so if it hasn't already stopped working, it's probably only a matter of time before it poops the bed. I also just noticed that they wanted another $4 for the AV cable and $5 for the power supply. At the time, I thought all those things were included for the $20 price tag, which would have kind of justified things, but this is just completely insulting. Oh, what the hell? Did a telephone company go out of business or something? Look at all these cordless phones. Oh, and don't forget about corded phones. They got plenty of those on the next shelf down. And a bunch of answering machines, which are even more pointless these days. But that's not all. Believe it or not, there's even more telephones down here. And alarm clocks. It's like the obsolete electronics Olympics here at the village. It's crazy to think that smartphones are responsible for turning all of this into useless garbage. Here's a KDS monitor that stood out because it looked kind of like an iMac. They want $20 for it. Let's see what it's got for inputs. Well, it just has VGA, and on top of that, it's hardwired right into the back of the monitor for $20. I apologize for sounding like I'm in a bad mood or something, but these prices really get to me sometimes. This netbook looks like it's seen better days. What kind is it anyways? I don't see any branding. Maybe it's on the bottom. Yikes. It looks like this thing is so bad nobody wanted to put their name on it. And with specs like that, I don't blame them. I'm not saying this isn't worth $8, but I am saying that it's almost completely useless these days. So, well, yeah, I guess it isn't really worth that much. You'd be better off spending your money on this Paper Jams Instant Rockstar. I think it's just a toy of some kind, so it should probably be in the kids' toy section. Yeah, nothing says Rockstar like a fake guitar with WowWee written on the headstock. Oh man, I need to find a good deal ASAP to restore my faith in the village. Alright, well this doesn't seem so bad. Here's a kid's bike with some friggin' huge wheels. I have no idea what used bikes go for these days, but this has to be worth $20. I mean, these tires alone look like they'd be worth that much, maybe? I haven't been on a bike in a few decades, so I was pretty tempted to take this for a spin around the store. Well, it's strange to see this in assorted electronics, considering it isn't electronic. It's a kick pedal for a kid's drum set, and I'd love to tell you how much they wanted for it, but apparently I didn't care enough to check at the time. I was more interested in checking out this Diamond Vision DVD player because it looked like a crappy game console. But no, it's just a top-loading DVD player. Interesting design though. A lot more interesting than this Sony Blu-ray media player thing that's so feather light it feels like it's completely empty inside. For connectivity, your options are Ethernet, HDMI, and PCM digital audio, which is fine. It's all you really need for a player like this, but man, I miss the old days when this kind of stuff had a dozen inputs and outputs and all that fun stuff. I guess it has USB on the front too. Suppose you didn't get that back in the day, so that's something.
Hey buddy, what's going on?
Oh, not too much there, old Trout, just checking out what they got hanging on the hooks. And I tell you, I've seen this thing here for a while now, and I think that's a power supply for something Nintendo related, but I have no idea what the rest of this stuff is. Maybe it's a dock or something? But I have no idea. Let me know in the comments if you can solve this mystery, because it's been keeping me up at night. And here's something that didn't last very long at all. A Hello Kitty digital camcorder. I'm really into cameras, and I dig cats, but I don't really know much about Hello Kitty, although I know that people are willing to pay an arm and a leg for some of this stuff. But I couldn't find anything related to this camera on the internet, which means it's either incredibly rare and expensive, or it's just a cheap knockoff that no one really cares about. Either way, I left it behind. Also left this infrared controller behind because I have no idea what it goes with. I don't think it's for any kind of game console, nothing, I'm familiar with anyway, so I suspect it might be used to control a drone of some kind, but I actually have doubts on that too. It could be for anything because you never know what you're gonna find here at the village. They've got everything. Yes, even the kitchen sink, which this is a joke we've already done before, but we've never discussed bathroom sinks like this one. This actually looks more like a basin than a sink. $13, that seems like a really good deal. You could fit several heads of cabbage in that sucker, and you could store them in this here cabbage cabinet. Ooh, opening that drawer sounds like nails on a friggin' chalkboard. How much do they want for this? $20, huh? Well, at least it comes with a key. Do you know what else is $20 but doesn't come with a key? this Big Century 1170 safe. These are great when you want to make sure no one steals your cabbage. At least it would be great if it came with a key, but to be fair, that lock looks like it would be pretty damn easy to pick if you had the right tools. You know, maybe like a snake rake, or a city rake, or a batarang, or maybe a diamond or a short hook. At this point, I'm just listing off things that I don't know anything about, if you couldn't already tell. Now here's something I know a little more about. It's a Namco TV plug-and-play piece of crap for $10. And the first thing I noticed is the fact that they've got the button and joystick reversed. That would drive me up the wall, but thankfully I have no interest in old arcade games anyways. And I've looked it up, and the ports that they have on this one are objectively terrible compared to the arcade originals. Right beside it, we've got an Atari arcade joystick thing for iPads. This one has the proper joystick and button layout, and the joystick actually has micro switches, so it's nice and clicky. This was here for almost a month before someone bought it, I assume for two reasons. One, it's only compatible with the old 30-pin iPhones and iPads, no USB option. And the other, more important thing is they wanted $15 for it. I've paid less money for a PS2, an N64, and an original Xbox at this location. Here's an Acer laptop for $25. Pretty dirty, but the hinge still has a lot of strength to it. Holy frig. Alright, let's see what it has for specs. Intel Pentium M processor, that's strike one. Intel GMA 900, first of its kind, not a good thing. 80 gig hard drive and 512 megs of DDR2 RAM. Man, I feel bad for whoever bought this. I'm gonna put it up here where it's out of the way and where no one will notice it, because they'll be too distracted with this cool kids karaoke machine. And I gotta say, I really dig this color scheme. Makes me think about Moon Mist ice cream. LOL surprise. Yeah, that's what I'd say to my friend when I gifted this to them, knowing that their kids were going to drive them crazy singing Disney songs nonstop. I rocked, I could walk? What? Is that even... Oh, I get it. I rocked before I could walk. Okay, well, good for you, I guess. Look at this. It even comes with a little light show. That's pretty nifty. And I didn't notice this until I was editing, but that kid's wearing a shirt that says ABCD, like AC/DC, only, you know, it's the alphabet. And that makes it clever because it's for little kids. I doubt this thing was ever used to sing AC/DC karaoke, but hey, maybe, you know, that would be cool. Your kid could get vocal nodules trying to sing like Brian Johnson, and what 8-year-old wouldn't want those? Here's a friggin' huge Sony subwoofer that's probably supposed to go with a bunch of other surround sound speakers that were all sold separately. The grill's a little gross, but besides that, it's, what the hell is this? Ah, it's another one of those paper jam things. This time it's for drums. What are these even? I don't see anything to indicate that it's for a game console, so kids just smack these things around and pretend that they're playing real instruments? Man, you'd have to have a pretty wild imagination to suspend belief enough for that to be deemed entertaining, even for a kid. Here's a Logitech subwoofer in absolutely horrendous condition. The speaker looks like it was chewed on by rats. $8 too. I was checking out the keyboards and I noticed an Apple wireless keyboard and it was only $4, which would have been an incredible price if it wasn't for the fact that it was missing the little battery compartment screw-on thingy. It's pretty much completely useless without that, but hey, maybe someone out there has the little battery compartment screw-on thingy and doesn't have the keyboard. In that case, it would be worth $4, but otherwise, you're better off going with this keyboard that has giant black font on yellow keys for improved readability and less eye strain and better accuracy, and it's spill-proof, PC and Mac compatible. Yeah, I've got nothing funny or interesting to say about this thing. I just thought it was kind of neat. Wow, I've never noticed how many keyboards they have here. This is pretty handy if you're looking to collect DNA from random people. Let's see what they got for games here. A little selection of Nintendo DS titles. Master Chef, that cover's kind of sexist, but hey, at least she's not making a sandwich. Hannah Montana there. Oh great, this asshole. I bought a copy at Brain Age 2 years ago. Played it once, never felt like such an idiot before or since. Paws and Claws Pampered Pets. Ah, oh, good grief, I can't take any more shovelware. Oh no, I found more. Oh god, and it's another Paws and Claws game. Maritime Rescue. Ah, it doesn't even rhyme. THQ, what is wrong? Can I help? Is there anything I can do to help you at all? Oh hey, Halo 3. I just picked up Halo 4, but I didn't get a chance to play it yet, so I'll have to play this one first. You know, unless I find Halo 2 before I get the time to play Halo 3. Of course, I've already played the first one. Oh, terrible game. I hated it. Ugh. God of War for PS2, Red Label. Price unknown. Probably $7.99, possibly $4.99. I'd pay $4.99, but $7.99? Absolutely not. Both MobiGo games are still here, I see, and a lot of good games still here for the last few weeks, but mostly because they're a little overpriced or really scratched up. Of course, we have some Wii shovelware up here. That pinball game might be pretty good. I'd definitely be down for some epic pinball, remember that? The Force Unleashed. Ooh, that'd be a rough one on the Wii, eh? A little too much waggling for my taste, let me tell you. Some sports titles over there, and wait, hold up. Just last week I found Vice City Stories, and now Liberty City Stories. Another game I haven't played in my favorite series. And it looks like this time we've got motorcycles. Motorcycles in Liberty City. Hot damn, and it's $5. And it was complete with the manual and the map poster thing in perfect condition. This is awesome. This is what it's all about. Oh yeah, this feels good. This feels real good. Here's another game I picked up recently, GTA San Andreas for the PC. This time it's just the book along with the game. But, I guess that's the most important stuff, right? Is it worth $5? Well, that depends. Do you like the worst version of stuff? In that case, then yes. And you might also be interested in this True Crime New York City, which is $6. That's kind of funny. The GTA clone is more expensive than GTA, but there's probably less copies in circulation. Supply and demand and other various business-related buzzwords. Here's a zombie game, Dead Island Riptide. I think we've had everything here except for Dead Rising. Or maybe we did have Dead Rising here before. Can't remember. Probably not. I mean, why wouldn't I buy it? I guess maybe I didn't have a 360 at the time? Ah man, now I wish I bought that imaginary Dead Rising game that may or may not have existed. And don't get me started with these Star Trek movies on VHS. It's not quite a complete collection, but to be honest, I'd probably only go with the 3 TNG movies anyway. Kinda regret not buying them. But the thing I regret the most is not organizing them so they're at least in order. Especially these 3. Alright, I'm sorry, but I gotta do something right quick. This should only take a minute, at least if I speed the footage up. And yes, I use Photoshop Elements. I paid less than $100 for it, and I own it for life. No recurring charges, it does everything I need, and if I need to work with photos, I have Lightroom 5. Ah, there we go. That's not as satisfying as I thought it would be, but well, whatever. Moving on. I just noticed that they have 2 edutainment PC games still sealed. Here's Math-He-Mat IQs, Math ages 7-8, made by School Zone Interactive, who thought it was worth $10. I assume it was them that added the price sticker to try and trick people into thinking that it was worth, any money at all. And it looks like it worked on the Village. They're asking $4 for it. And doing a quick 180 brings us to the more robust movie section, and it looks like we got ourselves a couple big boys on VHS. That copy of Titanic really stands out. I thought maybe this was some kind of really rare version or something, because I've never seen it in this big black plastic case before, but it turns out that it's from the Pictou Antigonish Regional Library. So yeah, not particularly valuable, but rare in the sense that, well, it's the only library copy of this movie I've ever seen. I'm sure it was played so many times that the quality ain't what she used to be, but I bet this Star Wars original trilogy on VHS looks much better. Unfortunately, it's the digitally remastered version of the movies where George Lucas went in and added a bunch of stuff. And, well, it didn't really work out that great, but hey, even if they're not the best versions, they're still the best 3 movies in the entire series, and for $4, that's pretty damn good. Ah, geez, here's me yakking your ear off. You probably got things to do. Let's just go check out that display case right quick and I'll get out of your hair. Well, looks like the only new thing here is that copy of Super Mario Galaxy. And at $15, it's not too shabby. Not a great deal considering this is a thrift store, but if this was a pawn shop or eBay, that'd be a steal. That basketball game for the PlayStation Portable is new too, I think. $4. Not bad, I guess. Not for me, but, whatever. Still good to see some new stuff in here. Other than that, it looks like, someone bought that PS Vita copy of Need for Speed Most Wanted for $15. And also that $15 Mansion and Garden Stuff expansion pack for The Sims 2. Not too surprising, considering it was still sealed. Not my cup of tea, but to each their own. I kind of wish I didn't reuse these establishing shots for the intros and outros, but I like to keep things simple. Even when that means creating a horribly awkward situation. But that's just the way she goes sometimes when you visit the Village of Values.